If you want higher kicks or you're looking to obtain the side splits, I made this specifically for you. So I'm going to show you an exercise called the half split lift off, which is a hip abduction strength exercise that is designed specifically to build those muscles that are responsible for abducting your hips, which in layman's terms just simply means lifting your leg up to the side or spreading your legs. Now, the hip abductors are a critical muscle group when it comes to side split training or kicking training, but they're also just important for the overall function of your hips in general. And in my opinion, they're one of the most overlooked and undertrained muscle groups in the entire lower body. When it comes to things like doing the splits or kicking high, everyone is so hyper focused on the opening or lengthening side of the joint. I see so many people that are just stretching for days and trying to jam themselves into these deeper ranges, but nobody's considering the closing side of the joint or the shortening side, the muscles that are responsible for contracting or shortening to actually pull you into those deeper ranges. And some food for thought that helps to kind of put that in perspective a bit is the fact that everybody that can kick high has good flexibility, but not everybody with good flexibility can kick high. Think about that for a second. For sure, there's definitely a component of technique and skill and practice that comes along with kicking. It's not just about flexibility. But my main point is that you can have a full split, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be able to actually kick high or lift your leg up to express that range of motion dynamically in the application of a movement like a kick, for example. If these are the muscles that are responsible for generating the movement of a kick, and you're using them every single time you throw a kick, imagine how much better you could get at kicking just by simply training for strength in those muscle groups directly. And that's exactly what this exercise is intended to do. So let me show you how to do it. So first off, I highly recommend to set up some elevated support in front of you to place your hands on, as that's just going to allow you to maintain a much more upright position, which is going to challenge the hip abductor muscle group a lot more. So we're going to start from a half kneeling position. From there, we're going to put our hands on the supports if you have them, and then slide out into that half split position. You want to find a full stretch, and then from that end range position, I want you to back off your range about a quarter, maybe to 3/8 away from that end range. And the reason being that in our true end range, we're going to be so weak there that it's going to be very, very challenging to even get your foot up off the floor. And if you want to go ahead and try, you can be my guest. You can find out for yourself. It's not easy. So the goal is to back off of that end range and find a suitable range that allows you to get your foot up off the floor, but not so far in that you're getting tons of movement off the floor. If we're really isolating that end range strength, which is the goal of this exercise, you probably want to be maximum an inch off the floor, maybe a couple centimeters, so that you're really challenging the end range strength and getting that crampy type sensation in the side of your hip here, but you're not so deep that you just like I can't even lift off here, and not so close in that you're just getting tons of movement. So once you've found a suitable range for you to work from, we can then start our set. And this can be performed in repetitions, isometric holds, or a combination of both. And if you don't have the hand supports, that's okay. It can be done from the floor just like this. But just for a visual demonstration, you can see how much easier it becomes for me to get a lift off from this more downward position. Whereas if I bring myself more upright, that same range of motion becomes a lot more challenging. And so if we want to progress this exercise and make it harder, all we have to do is simply work a little deeper in our end range, and that literally makes all the difference in the world. Or conversely, if you want to regress the position and make it a little easier for you to perform the exercise, all we have to do is just come in a little further and it will become a lot easier for you. Now, a general prescription that I would recommend that you start with for this exercise would be 10 reps holding the lift off for 3 seconds at the top of every rep. And treat it like a true strength exercise. Hit it for 3 to 5 sets on each side and bring the same level of intensity to those contractions as you would to a max effort deadlift or a squat or a bench press. Pushing the intensity is key with this type of end range strength training. If you're not having to battle through that crampy type sensation and you're not sore the next day after training these, you're probably not going hard enough. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that this exercise serves you well. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're looking for more flexibility content just like this.